Hi, I'm Terry J. Walker, and right here, this is my superstar, social media sidekick, Mr. Bailey Bob, and we're bringing to you a new show streaming on Mupo Entertainment called the I Am Power Hour, where everyone has a song to sing, a story to tell, and having to follow their passion to have the courage to rise and thrive. Could you be one of our next interviews as we all work together to bring love, light, unity, and connection to one another, and again, to have the courage to rise and thrive? Join me on the I Am Power Hour streaming on Mupo Entertainment.
Let them watch
So
this.
we're going to work on this.
You're a good guy. You're
Back here on the mountain, and Mandy's getting back to her roots.
Roll, Alex. Yakety yak.
Welcome to the I Am Power Hour with me, Terry J. Walker, and I still got, you know who, Mr. Magnus. Bailey Bob couldn't be here today. He had to stay home because he's getting a little touch-up on the hairdo. But anyway, we are so happy to be here with you today, and I am very excited to be bringing to you a very special guest that you're going to love, 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 and it's got a lot of information. If you are a mother or an upcoming mother, you might want to know this as well. So she has a lot of great information. Her name is Dr. Jamie Wyskiver. You might want to remember this. And she has Love Life Chiropractic. And the thing about it is, you're going to find out a lot of great information today. She is an author. She is also an international speaker. And this is some things that you want to learn from today. And so don't you go away. We'll be right back with Dr. Jamie Wyskiver as soon as this commercial breaks over. Welcome back to the I Am Power Hour with me, Terry J. Walker, and I'm here today with Dr. Jamie Wyskiver with Love Life Chiropractic. Ooh, I got my B's and my F's coming in there. Anyway, Dr. Jamie, it is so great to have you here today, and I am so excited to introduce you to my audience. So tell me how you found the hills of Tennessee. Wyskiver is not from here. And so, anyway, but how did you find the hills of Tennessee? What are you doing here? And tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay. I came here to help my dad. I moved back from Spain after practicing there for a few years, and they wanted to fuse my dad's neck, and I thought that was crazy. And I knew that there were things that could help him aside from surgery if it was applied in the right way. And so I moved here to Tennessee, and that was now 10 years ago, and till this day, thanks to some gentle love and chiropractic care and a few other health and life changes, he has never had his neck fused, and I continue to give him care.
Wow. And see, I've had neck surgery, and I know, the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
Before and after, I blew a disc completely out, so I really didn't have a whole lot of choice at the time. But for you, what are some of the things, because we are talking to people who are entrepreneurs who's made it through this pandemic and this time and still continuing to have the courage to rise and thrive. So, Dr. J, tell me what you're doing, how you're doing it, and help our people out there to understand what the importance is of chiropractic. Something about your books, and you are a speaker.
Yes, I am.
And so tell us about it.
So with chiropractic, I was not born into chiropractic. Some people are. I did not have a super profound experience that made me want to be a chiropractor. I just listened to an inner voice that told me I was meant to be one since the age of 13, followed that voice, and ended up picking my school based on weather because I grew up in Ohio and Hotlanta is so much better than Iowa in snow. So
Yeah.
I chose to go to good old Hotlanta, and I went to an amazing principal school called Life University that definitely gave me a degree in more than chiropractic. It gave me more values in my life of something called lasting purpose that Dr. Sid Williams established for our school, as well as Dynamic Essential Seminar, where I'm blessed to speak at. And so through learning true principled chiropractic, I learned and was sitting with students that had grown up in chiropractic families, and they were third generation, second generation chiropractors, and they're sitting next to me telling me they've never had a Tylenol, aspirin, shot, nothing ever in their life. And I had no clue that was even possible in life. I just was blown away. And not only were they just these amazing specimens of human beings like what you would want to be, they were perfect models of health really, but they were clear, mentally connected. I mean, they just had something that everybody wanted.
Right.
And so I wanted a little piece of that too. And so I learned chiropractic through the best school, and I learned about adjusting pregnant women and babies, and that, you know, chiropractic from birth on allows you to be the best version of yourself.
Tell me about babies being adjusted. What are you talking about?
I know, right?
I mean,
sounds
really?
so scary, right?
Tell us about
Yeah.
it.
And a lot of people that don't understand chiropractic to the trueness of how it's supposed to be with kids and pediatric
Right.
can have a very big misunderstanding, and chiropractors included if they aren't properly educated in that way. And so with kids, it's the ripeness of a tomato.
Right.
Very gentle pressure. Never should you hear this crack, snap, pop, or create that force to create that.
Right.
If it releases on its own because of gentle pressure, that's just a joint fart. It's gas in the body. Like, that's all it is. Sorry, don't be attached to a joint fart. But overall, you know, typically with kids, you won't hear that. Adults, yes, we've had some life build up in us and some stress, and we tend to have more joint farts than little kids. So very different, but I love it. And there's something called Webster technique for pregnant women that just offers them the best chance of birth possible, the best chance of pregnancy possible, allowing their brain, body to talk, the pelvis to be in the best position to best carry baby. I mean, just all of these different things. It just goes on and on, the benefits of what I've seen with not only chiropractic, but Webster as well as pediatric care.
Now you've done a lot of this, and you're getting ready to actually start some type of a new segment of your business.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
We are starting something called a birth collective, and we are starting it out of Love Life Chiropractic here in Tennessee. And a birth collective is going to be a collection of the most purest, best natural birth providers in this area.
Wow.
So myself, other pediatric chiropractors that may want to join forces with me, or pregnancy chiropractors. Connor Giddens, who is our lactation consultant. Carsey is our doula. And we are building this team. Rebecca Sweet is a infant massage therapist.
Right.
And she is going to be providing that with placenta encapsulation. And
Oh, wow.
it's just services that keep growing. Linda is going to be joining forces with us to do prenatal bend and postnatal bend. So it's just this beautiful thing that is growing and growing, but it will also turn into a birth community in time. So women can come and give birth in this beautiful birth community and feel the wonderful sacredness of a home birth, even if they feel they live too far out for in case of emergency for transport. So I want them to have an option of just feel like they have to go to the hospital. This is that intermediate in between. I have so many people that are already so excited about it.
Yes.
I'm just thrilled to hopefully be breaking ground, hopefully this summer.
Oh, wow.
So we will see. But yeah, Birth Collective is coming live and soon. So it's already been in its works.
You know, and you know, with everything and people having the courage to rise and thrive, and you are an entrepreneur in yourself and in your own right, and the fact that you are still out there and helping people is a gift within itself. And this is what this show is all about, is to be able to introduce and connect people like yourself to a wide audience so that you can help them and be a connection for them, because I truly believe in connection.
Yeah.
And by you helping, even with this birthing community, you're making great connections all over the world and opportunities. But tell me a little bit too about your speaking, and who do you speak to? Who is your audience?
Right now my audience is mostly chiropractic,
Okay.
related chiropractors, students of chiropractic, aspiring chiropractors, families of chiropractors.
So you're teaching even?
I'm getting ready to start teaching continuing education as well. I'm getting ready to hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know it's going to happen in time. It's just not right this moment. But I will be teaching some sacred geometry work with pediatric and just a lot of really amazing things that, you know, as I get more grounded, and it's kind of like you have to learn a new trick in life, and then once you get that, you can move on and do something else.
Right.
So it's like I had to go through school, do that, get my degree, learn how to practice, then kind of be decent at it. You know, you got to be a little good. And then from there, I was like, okay, time to step up, and I did some podcasts as well, and that is a great podcast, Wake Up Humans, with Dr. Steve Jetson, who's a chiropractor. Amazing bits of information, whether you want a 5-minute tidbit to inspire you, or you have a long drive and you want to listen to an hour interview with somebody similar to like these amazing things. And he has a YouTube channel too, but you can check out my podcast on there. Under there, it's Dr. Jamie Galprin at the time. I recently changed my name back to my maiden name. So you could check that out. But I speak at the Dynamic Essential Seminar, and what you're talking about is very much what that seminar is about, and being able to rise up and overcome. And the lasting purpose, which I mentioned earlier, Dr. Sid Williams founded that principle and founded Life University, my school, on that.
Right.
And it's to give, to love, to serve, to do, and expect nothing in return out of the abundance of your heart. And abundance comes from above, down, inside out. It comes from source of God and creation.
Say that one more time for our audience. To give.
To give, to love, to serve, to do, out of the no expectation of return, out of the abundance of your heart. And that is the lasting purpose. And the seminar I speak at, Dynamic Essentials, it is when a man becomes willing, obedient, and humble to the voice within. Yes. And so it's about really listening to that inner voice and what you're guided to do, and trusting it, and knowing that it's not going to misguide you, and if it does, it's a moment of ego. So you just need to stay in tune with that sacredness that we all have inside. And that seminar has taught me really in time. I've been attending it since I was a student. But really got anchored back into it when I moved back from Spain in 2012.
Right.
And that has been one of my main tools, and the other tools from Dr. Sid Williams. We have all these little Sidisms we say at the seminar about turning corners, because if you just say, oh, it's behind me, guess what? You can look in the rearview mirror and see it. But when you turn a corner, it's a totally different view. You're beyond it. It's not even on the same parallel plane that you are anymore. So I take these little things in my life that he has said, and I take them with me, and it has allowed me to rise up and above some of the most dark, tragic times of my life, which we all go through. But it's just empowering, and we need those things, and we need each other to rise above. So
connection.
Exactly.
And we do need to have the courage to rise and thrive. You know, the biggest thing too, Dr. Jamie, is that we all go through our ups and downs. We have our successes, we have our failures. And, you know, and to try to maintain some semblance of some middle ground. And we're so busy, and we've been through so much change and stress and chaos and confusion, and some of us even maybe a fair amount of grief and loss, especially over the last couple of years. And our work life, our financial life, our home life, our children's lives have all changed. It's no one has gone unaffected by any of this. So do you have some things? Tell us about your website and how maybe people can reach out to you and connect with you on maybe some things, either some speaking engagements, find out about your books, or even the local community and about your birthing community coming up. So tell us about that.
Well, stay tuned online. I'll be posting things. I have a Facebook page, Dr. Jamie, so find me on Facebook. I have lovelifechiropractic.info, which is my practice page, so I post some things on there. I will be having some up-and-coming projects that I've been in the works for, and it was really something that we've all been through in the past few years. It has really called me to do for the public. So stay tuned for something called No Plateau, and that's another project with Linda and a few other wonderful people. I have another webpage that's going to be out coming soon called Wellness Works Wonders, and it's just all these things are about empowering people to really have a tool to use, and have it be a simple tool as well. I have 2 books that are going to be coming out soon that I hope to get published. One is called A New You in 52, and that is making one change a week for 52 weeks, and in 1 year, you're an entirely new person.
Tell me something. Tell me a new change for a week.
One change, get adjusted. Of course, if you're not get adjusted yet, that's the #1 change in my book, because you can't do anything unless being clear and connected through your nervous system. That's the spark of life that happens in all of us. That's what remains in us. That's the intelligence that turns a peanut butter sandwich into a liver cell one day and a lung cell another day. And so that's what chiropractic works with, is that amazing intelligence. And so that's my number one. But aside from that, I teach about label reading and making sure that you're actually seeing things that you can pronounce, and it's a whole food item that you're eating.
Yes.
I teach about meditation and using tools like the 49 breaths from Dr. Sid Williams. That's one of the changes in there. So there's all these different things, whether it's mind, body, soul, dietary, ways that we look at our life, goals we want to set, spiritual goals even. And so I include all of that in the book. And then another book I'm writing is how to be your own best doctor and how to be your doctor for your kids. Because everything that has happened, there's been so much good information, bad information, misinformation, misdirected information.
Yes.
And, really we need to do what we all feel is right for ourselves, bottom line, have that freedom to do that, but honor ourselves inside, but have the ability to have this information with us and to just know, okay, does this resonate with me? Does this resonate with me, or does this?
Right.
And have that available. But if we don't have these tools available to us, then we don't really know what to do. And I was a doctor when I went through a very crazy experience with one of my daughters being diagnosed with brain cancer.
Oh, wow.
And through that entire experience, being already a doctor, I had to really step up my game and research things that I didn't think about or know through chiropractic. And so that is really the main inspiration of that book, is because of my daughter and wanting to share even when life can get that chaotic. Yes. Because it's easy when you graduate from school and you feel invincible and you're 26 and you've not had a baby, even though you're pregnant and have had some morning sickness, but yet you've not really experienced all the things you can go through in life. Your own true health challenges, unless you've been unfortunate at a younger age, or losing a loved one that's so close to you. So I've definitely had a bit of wisdom and experience in life, and just instead of letting it push me down, I want to use it to pull other people up and raise them and let them know that even though you can go through life tragedies, even though you can have seasons, it's still beautiful. And when it's a cloudy day, the sun is still above those clouds. Always.
Amen,
Always is.
amen.
So.
In one of my books that I had written, I talked about the clouds in the sky, because we have, we have clouds, we have storms, we have everything in our lives. And I talked about, sometimes when you're on a plane and you leave and you're sitting on the tarmac getting ready to leave and it is pouring the rain. And then when you raise your level of vibration, you actually, as the plane takes off, it goes through all of that, and what is above it? But nothing yet but blue sky. And so you see this blue sky and the sunshine, and I equate that to even our lives and our spiritual way of being, thinking, and doing. When we're willing and able to raise our vibration, to ascend above those stormy clouds that all of us will have, and be able to ascend and rise above with our level of energy and vibration. And everything works together. And even with you and the importance of chiropractic, this is something that we all can do.
Definitely. It's achievable.
Yes, it is achievable. Mm-hmm. And you are providing opportunities and ways and writings and books and things like that. Give us your website again one more time.
lovelifechiropractic.info. And Dr. Jamie on Facebook. And then we'll be launching some other good web pages too coming soon. And of course, I have that cool web podcast on Wake Up Humans, so check out Wake Up Humans as well. Whether it's on a podcast version in the car or on YouTube, he's on both. And that's all of my info that I can think of for now.
That's a lot. And you know what? I want you guys to reach out and get in touch with Dr. Jamie. It doesn't matter where you are on this earth, on this planet. We're all about connection and with the courage to rise and thrive. And so you stay tuned, because we're going to be back in just a minute with a little bit more from Dr. Jamie. We'll be back right after this commercial. Welcome back to the I Am Power Hour, and look at me, I'm laying down on the job. Hey, there's nothing better than having a job doing this. Anyway, I got Dr. Jamie back here, I reckon, and she's gonna do something, but I don't know what. What is it, Jamie?
We are gonna do a wonderful, gentle Logan technique adjustment on you. And so a lot of people know chiropractic as the traditional rack and crack and crunchy stuff, the joint farts we talked about earlier.
Oh, great.
But chiropractic is so much more than that. So I'm gonna give you a different side that this part doesn't work with the geometry work that I normally do. That's a whole nother thing, but you can incorporate it with any technique you do in chiropractic, which is what I love. So with Logan, this is just very gentle. So I'm gonna get you to lay with your face straight down in that little area, and then I'm gonna check your feet because I wanna see what your body's holding as far as your tension is concerned in there. And I'm just gonna check a few things in your spine just to make sure your spine qualifies for what I wanna do, because I don't wanna just get in here. The goal isn't to just make a crunching sound. I need to make sure what I'm doing, I'm gonna be effective. And I have to know the thing about chiropractic as well is you are moving a bone in a certain direction. It's very specific. You know what bone you're moving, in what direction, which way it was out, what nerve root you are affecting, every organ, gland, patch of skin, muscle, everything that is attached to it. And if you don't understand that, you're not doing chiropractic. So anything else is not chiropractic. So basically in here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kneel right beside you. And in school, they teach us this for like seriously half a second and you'll understand why here. Because the joke in school was that it was the brown thumb technique because I'm gonna dig in your tushy right here with my thumb. But now that I've been in practice for 16 years and what have you, you don't really care. You understand about how to communicate with people, right? So it's not that big of a deal. So now that I have seen the amazingness of what Logan does, I'm going to contact what's known as your sacrotuberous ligament. And this ligament is a ligament that goes from the coccyx of the sacrum to the sit bone in there. And so I just hold this ligament and just let the spine start to release. And the spine will release from deep inside that spinal cord. And all I'm doing is hitting this wonderful, beautiful, magical hold button and just letting her nervous system unwind. And the thing I love about this adjustment is it's a very deep parasympathetic adjustment. And parasympathetic is your rest and digest, where sympathetic is your fight and flight. And we've all been in some sympathetic overload in the past few years. So this is a really great and perfect adjustment to just go in there and unwind the sympathetics, increase the parasympathetics. And as you see me or feel me going up your spine, what I'm doing are called accessory adjustments. And this is where I'm just holding with a little bit of pressure, much how I would adjust a baby or a little one, with the ripeness of a tomato. And I'm just putting that little pressure on certain parts of your actual spinal cord, or spinal column, I'm sorry, and moving that spinal cord or column. See, I'm on the spinal cord here with my thumb, so I keep saying cord on one. My innate knows I'm affecting both. And then you just work your way all the way up the spine. And then I'll work my way all the way up to the neck and just gently hold. And it's a very powerful technique, as you can tell. It calls the masses. People want to come in the building as soon as it starts getting released. So I'm gonna get up. And I always tell people whenever I do this, you may feel stuff everywhere. Like in the most random place, you wouldn't think I did this on somebody yesterday, and she felt it in her hand. And I wasn't even up in her neck at that moment when she felt it in her hand. I was only down here at the ligament. But I have done very intense and good drop work with people. And drop is another great technique where the table takes most of the brunt force and oomph, and it's more gentle on your body. I've done side posture, which is the crunchy poppy stuff, with people in their hips as well. But what I've really seen from something so gentle and so light like this in Logan technique, it has just truly been profound. And just calming the body. Just lay there and let that integrate for a second. And just calming the body and just really letting the nervous system go from where it was up here to down here. And I thought, even people that could barely stand up or barely walking in, I traditionally would want to do, some good side posture or crunchy, good old drop table like this table. I'll show you as an instance as a drop table. And I lower just like that, and I put pressure on somebody. And so I've done that before on people, and it would last, a few hours, a few days, something like that. But what I see from this adjustment is so much more longer lasting and so much more complementary to the overall conversation that the brain and body is trying to have. And the nervous system. So Logan is just wonderful. So I always want to check your body out afterwards and make sure that we made some good changes. which we did. And so you were short a little bit on that right side when you first laid down, which didn't tell me you were born with one leg shorter than the other, but that you had more tension on that right side of your body, pulling that leg up for protection. And so, oddly enough, that just happened to be the way your body was misaligned, that same side of the sacrotuberous ligament that I contacted. And so that pattern for you pulls in here, and it kind of does this little zigzag dance, anchors into the shoulder, and then works its way up here. And so that just helps release a lot of that entire pattern in there. But you're balanced now. So that pattern and a few other ones, whatever your nervous system needed to take care of, it did. And the magic isn't done right now when you're sitting up. This is the cool thing, it's just now starting. And adjustment is really when the brain and body's connecting. When you go home and sleep tonight, that's when kids grow, is when they're sleeping, that's when we heal and repair. So how long an adjustment actually is beneficial, it could be, you can't even say hours. I mean, it's probably days to weeks to months. It truly is amazing. Who knows?
Well, and you actually, I mean, I have a tendency, because I've been checked out before in the past, and one of my legs, because my hip changes and draws up with stress and anxiety and muscle tension. And the fact that you knew that and did that and released that, and actually when you were getting up and around my neck and stuff, I felt it, you know, in my forehead.
Wow.
And some things like that, so I could tell that something was happening. But man, that was gentle. And
Yeah.
I've had other chiropractic work done, but that was absolutely amazing. And I want to thank you for that.
Of course.
And we're going to be right back with Dr. J. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling great. My hips and my lower back are always bothering me, and it's already beginning to provide relief. And I can't wait to go to sleep tonight. I told her, if this is going to work and help through the night, like she just mentioned, I'm going to get me a good night's sleep. I'm just going to tell you. And you know what? Not many people get to lay down on a job. But I had a great time today, and I hope that you did too. And I want you to be able to connect with Dr. Jamie. So Dr. Jamie, tell us again how they can connect with you. What are some of your things that you have to share with them?
Sure. Once again, go to lovelifechiropractic.info if you want information on chiropractic, pregnancy, babies, just in general, sacred geometry work, BGI, which I haven't mentioned, but that's part of a little bit of stuff that I incorporate with each adjustment, as well as Dr. Jamie on Facebook. I have a Love Life Chiropractic Facebook page as well if you want to see some of those posts. Check out my podcast on Wake Up Humans and Dynamic Essentials Seminar. That's lifede.com, I believe. If you would just want to check that webpage out on chiropractic and see a little trailer about the fun that we have at that seminar and see how fun us chiropractors and how nerdy we can really be. But it's great.
Well, you all might be nerdy, but you are a lot of fun.
No.
And I will tell you, I've had a great time today, and I hope that you've had a great time and learned a lot of great things. And again, reach out to Dr. Jamie at Love Life Chiropractic. And we will see you again on the next time on the I Am Power Hour. Y'all come back down. You hear?